Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the ThePCelitist. My name is Woodsie.
My name is Shepherd.
And today we have a special guest star.
We do indeed. Star is an appropriate term.
Yes. His name is Rowsdower, and you've heard his name before.
Yes, we reference him quite frequently.
Yes, and you've probably even heard his voice in some of the recordings.
Probably, in recordings past, because he, I won't reveal too much here, lives with Woodsie. And when we used to record in their old place, even with the door closed, every so often you'd hear a, woo! Or a, are you kidding me? Or something like that.
So, we have him in studio, but not really. Actually, at my apartment, but I'm at Shepherd's apartment. It's very complex.
Whoa.
Oh, Rowsdower doesn't know.
It's my apartment.
Oh, it's my apartment too.
No, okay, it's our apartment.
Anyway, Rowsdower is a big PC elitist as well. So, Rowsdower, introduce yourself as Rowsdower, and then explain to us your favorite PC game.
Introduce yourself in 2 words or less. No, introduce yourself.
My name is, well, I guess it's called a handle, right? My handle is Rowsdower. I am the most famous celebrity from Canada, and
That includes Nathan Fillion, by the way, so that is quite a bold statement, sir.
I have no idea who that is. No, I'm just kidding.
Hang up right now.
we hang out all the time. I'm his bodyguard.
Oh, God.
Anyway, my favorite PC game, that's a tough question, and I've thought about it a lot, and I guess I would probably have to say something from the old LucasArts days. I call that the golden age of PC gaming. It's hard for me not to say X-Wing Alliance. And the reason why is because it dug me so deep. I really felt like I was flying an X-Wing through space, and also sort of being a Star Wars geek, it just made it that much more enjoyable.
Well, that's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
That or Paint Brawl.
Oh, God. Dig, dug, shoot, shot.
Is that a CS mod?
Paint Brawl was, I just remember, a very low-rated 2D, 3D shooter, like Doom, Doom era.
Anyway.
It was like, got a 16 on PC Gamer
We
back
have a
when.
discussion to get
Yeah, we
to.
have an actual discussion. Rowsdower actually gave this article to me and Shepherd about the Ouya coming out.
Let's just pause for a moment. This, if you haven't heard about it, he's going to tell you what it is, but it's called the Ouya. Just want to make that clear.
It is called the Ouya.
Yeah.
It was a Kickstarter project. I forget how much they tried to make.
$11.
They reached.
That's what $11 gets you, is a console called Ouya.
Couldn't even finish a word.
Yeah.
So they reached their mark, and they're developing this thing. It's like $100 console. It's supposed to be an open platform that's based off the Android OS. And it's got a lot of life behind it. Like, people are kind of excited about this thing as a new entry into the console market.
And we'll post the link to the article. It's from Forbes.com, so you'll see it in the description of the video.
Right. And this guy, I forget the writer of the article, kind of destroys. You wouldn't want to invest in Ouya after this guy.
No, he makes a pretty brief but compelling argument as to why it will be short-lived.
Yeah. Basically, his contention is that Ouya has a very simple hardware scheme that's running off of an already popular OS. So any, Joe Schmo television like Samsung, who already does this, they could just one day go, we're going to put some Android stuff inside of our television, and then we'll have a console.
And we'll sell you a controller.
We'll sell you a
for
controller.
$20.
Yeah, exactly. So then there goes Ouya.
Yeah. Yeah, because the convenience of it already being integrated into the TV kind of obsolesces anything Ouya could do. Ouya!
Right. So
The author's name of the article was Eric Kane from Forbes, and they were trying to just raise, I think it was $900,000 or something like that, but they ended up they blew that out of the water. They raised over $8 million. So
Wow.
And they still
Yeah.
couldn't get a better name.
It's still
Yeah.
Ouya.
That's why you always leave a note.
Well, another idea or discussion kind of branched off this because the article is very good. So I would invite everyone to go read it. But I came up with a small analogy. I love analogies.
As he is wont to do.
Right. That PC is to console as console is to mobile tablet OS type games.
In other words, Shepherd is to Woodsie as Woodsie is to Rowsdower. Yep, I went there. Carry on.
It's accurate, I would say. Sure.
Yeah.
So as consoles kind of scratch at the baseboards of PC and pull it down, mobile gaming and tablet gaming kind of scratch at the base of the console market. We were talking. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just to kind of specify that, because we very briefly touched, we talked about this earlier, so just to make sure we're all on the same page, what he's really getting at is when you talk about your market of consumers, as in from any platform, you have your hardcore, you have your kind of mid-range, and then you have your more casual. What we're seeing in gaming is a huge rise in the casual market across all platforms. So what he's basically saying is historically, the PC market, a lot of the casual PC players were kind of sought after and roped in by consoles because they could offer a cheaper, more convenient, more simple way to game that didn't intimidate you. You didn't have to be a power user or even just a kind of a mid-range user. And what we're seeing now, according to this brilliant theory, and I say that mostly not sarcastically, basically is that the mobile gaming market is doing much the same with consoles, that casual console players can now look to mobile gaming to be an even simpler, even cheaper, much cheaper, even more convenient way to game. So, and by doing that, well, no, that's it. I'll let you carry on. The way you put it is much better than I could.
Right. Well, you have to look at, and we'll bring Rowsdower into this in a moment, but the games that are very popular right now are actually like nostalgic base games. You have games that were huge on Xbox Live, like Braid and Fez got a lot of attention. Super Meat Boy. These are games that are all just thrown back to the platformer days. It's like the console psyche are all having nostalgia for the old console ways instead of this mixture of console PC. You know, so and
Back in the days where you couldn't port anything to anything.
yeah, there was no porting. I mean, the only ports I can think of, like PC, I think Maniac Mansion. Do you remember that? Rowsdower on the NES
Yeah, I do.
Oh
was
my God.
was it a LucasArts game that went from PC to Nintendo, and Nintendo censored the hell out of it.
These guys are only 2 years older than me, but when they mention games that I've never heard of, I feel like a baby.
So here's the issue: is that you have the Ouya taking a lot of the casual market. You have the trying to. You have like Nintendo, who already made it known they want the casual market. They're not really interested in going in these upper echelons of the consumer base. And then you have the PC, which is just undisputed champion of the top, right? Of the power user. And now you have a middle. And the problem with being in the middle is finding your ground.
It's like being the middle child.
It is. Because you'll kind of get ignored. You don't have the security of all those casual base users because they have so many other cheaper options. And you can't get the power users, or you could try, but it requires more investment from you, the company.
And well, you have to bring out a new console to do that.
Yes. So you have to reinvest.
But what you do have going for you, and I'll just make this very quick point before we turn it over to Rowsdower. What you do have going for you is a proven track record. Not like people are saying, I don't know about mobile gaming. It's not really proven. Like, it's not what I'm saying. But people are so familiar with Microsoft and Sony that will carry them a great deal. That's what I just wanted to jump in real quick with.
You're talking about fanboys.
No, well, not necessarily. I think that not even fanboys, people who just say, "Well, yeah, mobile gaming is fun, but I've been playing stuff on my Xbox for 7-8 years now. it's familiar, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Like, just familiarity breeds loyalty.
Well, Rowsdower was telling me the other day, which he could elaborate on, how the Ouya is basically doing what his phone already does. That he could hook up a controller and just play. Right?
Yeah, actually, I was going to bring that up. While I was doing research, looking into the next phone I wanted to purchase, I was considering the new iPhone or going with an Android Galaxy. And I was just kicking around different videos on the internet, and I came across a video where the guy, he had a jailbroken version of his phone, but he had installed software to his phone where he was able to use an emulator to play. He was playing Tekken, he played Mario Kart, and he was using an Xbox 360 controller, and he was also had another video where he was using a PS3 controller, and he just had the phone HDMI wired up to his TV. So, and I don't see how this is going to be any different from what the Ouya is going to provide to the big market. This period of time is very interesting because you can see how popular, how hungry the console market or the console gamers are to have a new platform. There's so much hype behind the new Xbox console. There's so much hype behind this Ouya thing, but it also does a really great job at showing how fractured that market really is. And with the console market right now having to go more and more towards niche ideas and peripherals to keep it going, and also just kind of repackaging the same games over and over again. It's gonna be interesting to see what the new generation of consoles can do differently, and add to it. I know there was a lot of talk about the new Xbox system not just being a gaming system, but like an entire entertainment center for your living room. You're not just going to play games. You're going to watch your movies. You're going to browse the web, social media, all that stuff will be integrated into this one box.
Yeah, and Microsoft actually just announced that they're dropping the price of the Xbox 360 another $50. So they are. So
they
really,
actually pay you $50.
It's nearing that point. I mean, it will soon come to pass that with your next round of Windows 7 updates, they will ship you an Xbox 360.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to get it in your house.
Well, have you seen those commercials where they go, buy a laptop, get an Xbox 360?
Buy gum, get an Xbox 360. One thing I just wanted to point out real quick, that in the case of hooking up the Galaxy S3 to a 360 controller, what has happened, and this is now, we have documented evidence of this, the controller is bigger than the unit itself.
Is
And I don't know what that means for the future of gaming. What I want someday is my super powerful PC to be smaller than the mouse.
Well, you can see.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I want it to be the mouse.
The trend for PCs seems to be the exact opposite. Like, my tower has gotten bigger and bigger over the years.
That's just because PC gamers have a phallic obsession that they can't get over.
Well, Rowsdower points out that his phone, I'm guessing, I haven't seen the hardware on the Ouya, but if they're selling the thing for $100, I don't think they're taking a loss on it. I just don't imagine a startup company, a new company, is going to take a loss on a piece of hardware.
Following the Xbox
What loss?
model.
The money was given to him. There's no loss.
Venture capitalism.
Right. Well, okay. So, I guess they're not taking a loss. They made all their money. Right? Didn't everyone who put money into it, like, don't they usually get something in return? That's usually how the Kickstarters work.
Ask 38 Studios.
Okay.
We're going to send you, like, dog tags with our names on it or something.
For some reason, I'm willing to bet that the hardware in your Galaxy 3 phone is more powerful than what's in the Ouya, or close to it.
Well, another problem, and what's his name? The article that we were referencing, he points this out exactly. This is one of the things he points out is, Samsung can just walk in and steal the thunder that the Ouya is working on, and they are one of the biggest electronics hardware manufacturing company on the planet. Like, the funding that they have at their disposal is pretty much limitless, whereas Ouya, this grassroots campaign that started on the internet, $8 million sounds like a lot of money, and it is, but when you're trying to chip into this type of market, it's really not that much to work with.
Right, and I think you made a great point about saying that it's a fractured base right now, is because Microsoft is going to try to find where this next Xbox fits in there. It's got to fit there in between the PC and the Wii U, and want to have Xbox Live and capture casual users, and it's even trying to be your whole television. Like, it might be too scattershot. Just, it's trying too hard to be everything, where the PC has it locked up. It's the top end. The Wii U went down and said, we're going down here, we're just going to grab these casuals. The Ouya is going so low that Samsung could eat it up in a second if it felt like it. So where does your Xbox fit in?
Yeah, I think that's where I was going to go with it, is if in this market you have this saturation of different companies going for different stratifications of the consumer base, you wonder if they're going to take the strategy of continuing to fight each other over all markets or over certain markets, or if everyone will kind of find their niche and say, we're not really going to branch out. And the analogy I'll draw is I worked for Chase Bank for 3 years, right when they acquired Washington Mutual here in California, and when they moved over. And what we saw was Chase didn't come in saying, we're going to come in and take every single banking customer and kick out Wells Fargo and B of A. They basically came in and said, no, you keep the low to moderate income people. We're going to take all of the high-end clientele. And what we're going to do is completely saturate just one or two segments of the market. And they weren't largely successful at that. They're now switching their strategy pretty completely. But but that to me is,
and it was an abject failure.
Yeah, well, now suddenly they're specifically targeting poor people, basically, which is so unchased. But anyway, I'm wondering though if these companies will, continue to go for each other's throats, because really it is kind of like banking, where you have so many options from which to choose, and it's not a perfect analogy in that these different platforms are offering you very different experiences. But I wonder if they will decide or settle into, we are comfortable completely saturating this target. Will that target be profitable enough to continue doing what we're doing? I'm inclined to think no. I'm inclined to think that they still will try and reach for more and more, because just internally, let's say someone at that company, how is he going to sell to his boss his work plan for the year? We're going, basically by saying we own 85% of the market, by next year I want to own 95%. That's not really good enough. They're going to say, no, we want to see you branch off and cut into our competitors in these other markets as well.
Right.
So I don't know what that means, next steps for the industry, but I think that it lends, to me, credibility to the theory that mobile gaming will cut into the lower casual base of console gamers, and I think we've seen it already has started to.
Yeah.
We already know that that's going to be a no, because we already know that with the next gen consoles, the hardware is not going to be the focal point of what they're trying to offer. They're not going to try. I mean, the hardware will be better and it'll probably be state of the art, but that is not going to be the focus of what they're trying to accomplish, for obvious reasons, because they can't release a new console every year. But that being said, they've already shown that their focus is going to be trying to branch out and gobble up as many different markets as they can with just their console.
Yeah, if they use the Assassin's Creed business model, they'll release a new shitty console every year. Well, really, they're just waiting to release their big one in 4 years. Bullshit.
All right. Well, I think we should get more input from those listening. If you stayed this entire 20 minutes, I'm very proud of each and every one of you.
I won't do it now, but I can name at least 7 or 8 of you who I know are still with us and who will comment. And I just say, God bless you.
I know that there's one guy who has nothing better to do but to listen to this entire thing, because there's nothing to do in Wichita.
Oh, leave Rapid Fire Reaper alone.
My name is Woodsie.
My name is Shepherd, and we would like to thank very much Rowsdower for coming on and being our guest. Please let us know what you think, not just of Rowsdower as a guest, but Rowsdower as a man. Anything you'd like to say before we sign out, Rowsdower?
Yeah, didn't Woodsie talk about a story one time where he walked in on me playing a game and from the back he thought I was naked because I wasn't wearing a shirt or something.
That was me, actually, and I still have a picture of you sitting in your chair, and I took it in such a way that makes it look like you're naked. I believe you were playing NBA 2K10? 11? So I have that picture, and I may just have to post that somewhere.
Oh, I have one more thing I want to add. I know you guys are trying to wrap up this video, but it's pertinent to what we were talking about. For the first time, probably ever, both Shepherd and I have bought our new sports game for our PC as opposed to doing it on our console, which is traditionally what we've always done. We both bought FIFA 13, and I mean, at this point, I've completely abandoned my Xbox. I have no use for it anymore.
I could not have said it better. It's a new experience. It feels a little weird. But, yeah, my Xbox is collecting dust now. Anyway, once again...
my name is Woodsie again.
My name is still Shepherd. This is the PC Elitist, signing out.